Hey, there we go. Hey, everybody. Um, I forgot to push one of the buttons, so I think we had a dark screen there for a minute. Uh, this is August 10th, 2025. August 10th, 2025. And I'm live on YouTube and Rumble, but I have no notification. I have no notification. I should have a notification over here. That Oral Health with Cannabis is live on Rumble, and Citizen Scientist is live on YouTube. I can see that Rumble is live. I'm going to check the audio. Citizen Scientist is live on. Got the audio. YouTube. So I think YouTube should be rolling along too. Video quality sucks, but that's all right because I what I have is to say, uh, not to show. Um, the gag is off. I've been very vocal for years, and from um, probably sometime in March through uh, the beginning of August, I was self-gagged. I was self-gagged because after years of fighting the the British agents uh, with the state of licensing, the fiction fucking licensing, and their policies and procedures, not practice. The British Dental Association, otherwise known as the ADA. Most everyone wants to call it the American Dental Association. It's not the American Dental Association. And so I talked about some of the experience I had with the dentist, the oral surgeon, the ADA, and Humana. Um, but there's several things that I didn't talk about, and so I'm going to talk about at least one of them right now because it's on my mind. Uh, as I said, both of these men, I think they're boomers. If they're not boomers, they're as close as you can get to being a boomer without being a boomer. I'm judging. I am not judging. Uh, I guess I can say that judging from the color of their hair, uh, their skin. Like me, you can look at me and tell I'm an old guy. You could judge me to be a boomer, but I'm telling you I'm a boomer. Um, and so I can go a little bit more old school than a lot of you. I can go because I have knowledge of history that you may not have. I certainly have his knowledge of history that most of you do not have, and it's a recent history. So, anyways, it's obvious that these dentists, ADA dentist, British agent dentist, um, are stupid. They are dumb as a box of rocks when it comes to flag law, um, law and lawful versus legal. Um, they'll probably tell you they have a dental practice, but they don't. They operate on policy and procedure. So um, there's no need for me to dox this dentist or this oral surgeon because I'm doxing the whole fucking shit caboodle. The whole fucking shit caboodle. I'm doxing them all. Every one of these motherfuckers with a license and they protected by the bar, British agents, British agents that are poisoning Americans. That's their job. Doctors and dentists, that's their job, is to fucking toxify you. It's their policy and procedure. It's their mandates. And it's the bar that props them up in every fucking case. In every case. So it doesn't matter what I bring forward to these fucks. With regards to cannabis, because they're policy fucks. They're poisoners. They're and they're stupid. They're so fucking stupid. So um the majority of them obviously have an education in how to perform surgery. Yeah, yeah, they perform surgery on your teeth. Then they'll perform surgery to pull your teeth. Um, I'm going to tell you how stupid they are. And yet they have the ability, for intelligence. They do. They got where they're at because they have ability for um, intelligence. Um, they had to study a lot of Babel. They had to study a lot of Babel as they're getting indoctrinated into their job of poisoning the American people. Poisoning the American people. So I like to get as much in writing from these fucks as possible when I deal with them. It's Babel. All right. So in a gold fringe flag court, it can mean nothing. No matter what you do. Notice to principal is notice to agent. Notice to agent is notice to principal, is notice to substitute, stand-ins, replacements, and successors. All right, that should mean something, but it means nothing to these fucking bar agents. Why? Because they're at war with you. and they have weaponized the American language against us. And who told us? You got a lot of people telling you now, but are you listening? But all these generations, the majority of my life, who the fuck told us? And those that did, was it suppressed, oppressed, attacked, and buried, and burnt? You're damn straight it was. So that's why we didn't know, including these dentists that live here in America that poison the American people for a living. They make money poisoning the American people. What they um, with a facade of health. How can you fucking poison us every fucking day of your life? That's your fucking job. Every day of your fucking life. What do doctors do? They write fucking prescriptions. What is a prescription? It's for what they call medicine, but every fucking one of them is toxic. That's why the prescription. So they don't kill you instantly, right? So they don't kill you instantly, but it's a fucking poison. And then what do? Well, you march that right down to the fucking pharmacist. Another British fucking agent. Another stupid fuck whose job is to make sure you get your fucking poison as prescribed. Now, for I don't know, it's about 15 years ago, we started seeing um, signage and commentary and ports that the leading cause of death for Americans is medical errors. Leading cause of death for Americans, medical errors. Did Americans get upset? No, they're fucking they're at the grocery store trying to figure out which fucking food is not fucking toxic. They're trying to find a healthy food at the fucking grocery store. They're trying to figure out which diet is going to work for them. They're looking at maybe they're looking at alternative medicine because so many people are so fucking disgusted with these fucks. Going to the gym, working out, fasting, drinking water, but most of the water you're drinking is fucking contaminated. So that's pretty fucking stupid, isn't it? It's pretty fucking stupid. These fucking British agents have fucking toxified the American people in every way possible. And these ADA members, they probably drive a really nice car, live in a very nice home, maybe have a second or a third home, multiple vehicles, boats, uh, snowmobiles, race cars, airplanes. They can afford it because they get paid big money for poisoning us. They get paid big fucking money for poisoning us. And the insurance companies are all in on it. The insurance companies are all in on it. So I had a lot of conversation with this dentist. Um, a phone call recorded. I had another phone call that I didn't bother to record. Lots of text messaging and emails. So I explained some things to this dentist. I explained quite a bit, and I'm there for my first appointment, which is a cleaning and an evaluation of the teeth that I have. Well, of course, he went further. He checked for cancer and lesions and whatnot. That was all good. My concern was an evaluation of my teeth and the fillings. Did I have degraded fillings? Did I have any cavitation that needs to be taken care of? I don't want to lose any more teeth, and I needed that toxic tooth the fuck out of my mouth. Oh man, it feels so much better. Oh my god, having that fucking infection. It showed me the dentist showed me on the X-ray how that infection was actually eating away at the bone at the level of the root. All right. Um, and when that tooth came out, whew, the stink. But at any rate, I'm sitting in that dentist chair. Um, because of the procedure, I was not numbed up for the cleaning and the evaluation. Um, so when I didn't have instruments in my mouth, it was easy for me to talk, and we talked. One of the things I asked this dentist is, um, no, I'm jumping ahead. One of the things I told the dentist is the ADA is British, and he he says to me, he says the ADA is American, and I responded to him, it is put together by bar attorneys, bar agents, British accredited registry, bar agents formed, created the ADA. It's British agents that run the ADA. It's bar attorneys that run the ADA. It's bar attorneys that operate the ADA. Oh, baby. And the light turned on. If there was one picture, if there was one picture that I could have blown up and hanging on my wall of a face that I have had a counter with in the last 10 years, it would have been that moment. It would have been that moment. Oh my God. The look on his face, man, it hit him like boom. But did he say anything? No, of course not. Fucking pussy. Beta man. Beta man. Doesn't want to jeopardize his fancy office and all his exam rooms and operating rooms and his houses and his vehicles and all his cash and assets. Right? He couldn't dare go across against the British. So I said to him, I said, "What do you know about flag law?" He says, "I know something about flag law." I said, "Well, in the courts, your circuit court, your district court, your federal courts, and your military courts, what's hanging?" a mutilated flag, bro. A mutilated fucking flag, bro. Of course, I kept my cool. I'm I'm releasing some pent up energy. Um, pissed is pissed doesn't even begin to cover it. Disgusted doesn't even begin to cover it. Outraged doesn't begin to cover it. They got us taking our kids to the fucking dentist. It starts at a very early age. Well, apparently, this dentist knows something about flag law. He has a sailboat. He has a sailboat. He knows something about flags. So, um, is he truly an evil man? Is he truly an evil man? Or has he been brainwashed to the point where he can no longer have critical thought? Is he beyond critical thinking? I gave him evidence. I gave him evidence of gum tissue rejuvenation, something that his policies and procedures cannot give you. His policies and procedures, his mandates cannot provide for you gum tissue rejuvenation. They cannot provide for you prevention of gum tissue loss. They cannot provide you with a natural, all natural. They can't provide you with an artificial. They can provide you with nothing that will prevent calcified plaques or remove calcified plaques. They have nothing to offer. They scrape it. They do deep cleaning. And one of the discussions I had with the dentist about deep cleaning is bad and it destroys the teeth. You know what his response to me was? He says, I know. He says, I see it in my patients. Wow! Then why the fuck do you do it? Uh, uh, uh. Fucking brain dead motherfuckers. I'm gonna check the chat. I'm gonna check the chat. And no comments. It takes some fucking balls to put a comment in on my videos, doesn't it? It takes fucking courage to listen to my videos. That's a fact. It takes courage. You listen to my videos, my hat's off to you. I give you a hat tip. You want brave, MFer. You is. But are you brave enough to put in a comment? That takes some spine. That takes some backbone. What about to give a thumbs up? I'm not asking for it. Uh, the, the I'm not asking for it because I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to get out of your fucking fear-based situation. I proved to this motherfucker gum tissue rejuvenation. I proved to him calcified plaque removal. His fucking notes noted No calcified plaques on my teeth above the gum line. None. And for years, I was denied any type of cleaning and denied my now long patented cannabis formulations. I was denied. The deep state, powerful motherfuckers. They want me dead. They want me gone. They fucking book burn, book burn, book burn. They break their own laws over and over. They're tripping over themselves on their laws that they break. They are tripping themselves on their laws that they break. And this is why none of them can face me. Because they don't want that to come out. That scares the living shit out of them. That they would be exposed for their crimes. They like to commit crimes. The policy officers. Policy and procedure. The motherfuckers wearing a badge, oh, they love committing crimes. They're fucking British agents. They have been trained. They have been trained to commit crimes on you. On you, your family, your children, your parents, your friends. All these sheriffs, they got their deputies as bailiffs in these administrative courts with a gold fringe fucking flag. So this dentist has the intelligence to comprehend flag law for his boat, but he cannot comprehend flag etiquette, flag protocol, flag procedure, or flag law when it comes to court. And if he does, like when he the light went off, oh my God, the ADA is British organized, British operated, and British run. Ethan is right. Well, maybe the fucking light will go on about the flag and flag law and the difference between legal slavery and lawful freedom and justice. It's time for some old school ass kicking. It's time for some old school ass kicking. I was born in 58, Detroit Receiving Hospital. When I was 10 years old, family moved out of Detroit in 1968 during the riots, Detroit suburbs. Now, before the riots, it was city life, normal city life, with your typical bullies. And so when you're in kindergarten, yeah, you're like one of the smallest kids in school. When you're in first grade, you're still one of the smallest kids in school. Second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth, you're still one of the smallest kids in school. Because you got the classes above you and you got those in your class that are big naturally. Well, I learned to run and I was fast. Had to be, had to be fast. And moved out to Brighton and life was different. Brighton, Michigan. Rural, a lot of open country, dirt roads, uh, subdivisions spotted here and there, farming communities, a very different kind of life until I got to school. And a bully found me. Well, this son of a bitch is probably close to twice my weight, head taller than me, and he's shaking me down every day, intimidating me and shaking me down. Whatever money I had in my pockets or on my person, it wasn't mine. Nope, not when he comes up. No, it's his. Anything in my lunch that he felt like looked good to him, that was his. And then he would order me to take his money. It was my money. He would order me his um, his pleasure, which was candy, which was 2 blocks away from the school parking lot. You get off the bus, you don't really have a lot of time to get to class on time, do you? But I was fast. I was fast. I was really fast. And so I'd run down to the drugstore, spend his money, get him his pleasure, get it to him, and then race to class. This was a daily occurrence. Just like these doctors and these dentists and these bar agents. It's their daily job to fucking do what they do. This fucking bully, it was his job to do what he does every fucking day. And I don't know that I was the only victim. I didn't know of other victims. I didn't have that conversation with anyone. So this is going on for too long. Many, many, many weeks. And in school, there was 2 levels. So we had the wide stairways, where on one side of the stairway you got plenty of room for 2 people to walk side by side down, and 1 or 2 people to walk up, passing you. Right? You got this traffic going like this, and then when you're going, you hit a landing, and then you're going to turn. Well, this particular day, I changed the whole fucking game. I changed the whole fucking game. And I had no intention. I had no intention to do it. I had no pre thought to do it. It was pure instinct. So I'm coming down the stairs. I'm clipping down the stairs, and as I turn to go down to the next flight, I'm on the landing. I wouldn't surprise me if I used my hand on the newel post to kind of spin, because I had speed, I had momentum, and I got to make this turn, and I don't want to be crashed. It would make sense I'd do that. So I'm not really losing much speed as I'm coming around the corner. And this motherfucker is getting ready to take his first step up the flight of stairs. And he's moving. As he's pointing his finger at me, giving me an order. What did I do? Now who's taller? I am, by a lot. Now who's got the fucking momentum? I do. Because I'm fucking moving, man. I'm fucking moving. His fucking finger comes up and his mouth fucking opens, and I cleared like 3, 4, 5 steps in a fucking heartbeat with a straight arm. With a fucking straight arm. I fucking cold cocked this motherfucker right in the face. He goes like this. Boom. There wasn't no carpet on the floor. He took a fucking hit, baby. And what did I do? I just kept right on going. And I went to class. And that was the end of it. Did I get called down to the principal's office for violence? Fuck no. Did a school counselor come around and talk to me about my fucking violence? Fuck no. Were my parents notified? Fuck no. But everything changed at that instant. That motherfucker never, ever came near me again. He would turn and go the other way. And I had no idea that I had a reputation. I had a reputation. So there were plenty of bullies in school, but they chose to pick on others, like my little brother. Guys my age picking on my little brother, bullying my little brother. And did anybody notify mom and dad that Ethan's little brother's getting bullied? No. Does the bus driver do anything about it? No. Do the teachers do anything about it? No. Does the counselor do anything about it? No. Does the principal do anything about it? Fuck no. I did. I did. And that's what I'm talking about. Old school. Ass whooping. Now, these motherfuckers need to have their fucking ass fucking handed to them and be judged lawfully. Lawfully. Where they can suffer the consequences of their criminal, unlawful things that they have done. Now, this dentist knows that all his patients suffer poor oral health. That's why he's in business. That's why he's in business. You know, whip makers used to be in business. It was a big business. Stagecoaches and wagons, wagon wheels. It was a big business. But people got smarter Other things came along that were better. And so the wagon building, the stagecoach building, the wheel building, uh, all changed. So they had to adapt because that was the benefit to society. Imagine if these motherfuckers kiboshed the steam engine, kiboshed the gas engine. Well, if you can imagine that, I think you're going to get really pissed when you learn that they have been hiding free energy from us for fucking decades, generations. We need some old school ass fucking whooping to take place. Now they say the pen is mightier than the sword. That's what they say. And for the British agents, that's true. Because, like I said, they have weaponized the language against us. They've weaponized the language against us. And a lot of people are waking up to that fact. A lot of people are waking up to that fact. But there's a big problem now. Huge problem. The Babylonian Matrix. The Babylonian Matrix. The bastardized American language. The bastardized American language. So, the most intelligent, bravest, fearless are fucked because of quantum grammar. Fucked because of quantum grammar. We're fucked because of the new age. So, I'll explain that to you because you're probably scratching your head like what? So the the thing about quantum grammar is, from my comprehension of it, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and uh, I hope that it's our future because I comprehend it as the salvation from the slavery, from the poisoning, from the criminal activities of all the parasites. So now you got all kind of people waking up to the fact that the flag is mutilated, that these are administrative courts, and some of the AI knows this and will AI verify. AI verify, but I say don't trust AI. Don't trust it to tell you the truth every time, because AI is programmed. And AI does not possess critical thinking the way man does. So the quantum grammar, the now time, the now space is occupied. It's occupied. There's a duality. There's a duality. You got the matrix. You got the matrix, which we've all been trapped in. And then over here, you have reality. You have truth, not fiction, truth, where you can have justice, where criminals are reined in, where you cannot make a living poisoning your fellow man, killing your fellow man, brainwashing your fellow man, prisoning, jailing your fellow man because it makes you happy. No, 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 no. Not in quantum reality, fiction. And I say, fuck the fiction. Now, my life of isolation, deep, deep isolation, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year after year after year, has given me an opportunity that most people don't get. And from a position of, I, I, I have the knowledge of cannabis and oral health. I have the science of cannabis and oral health. I have the history of being attacked, oppressed, suppressed, my life's information deleted, buried, book burning, the 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 mental torture that is nonstop, because I know, because I know. So the mental torture is nonstop. The threats, the danger is non-stop. And what can I do about it? Well, why don't you use quantum grammar, Ethan? Ethan, if quantum is it, why don't you use it and fix your situation? Uh, that is not possible at this time. In this now time, now space, that is not possible. It's not. Um, Now, quantum grammar and quantum verse, um, quantum universe, quantum verse, um, it's there. It is. But it's, even though decades old, it's in its infancy. And the Matrix is has all its force to quash and destroy truth, fact, and justice in the quantum realm, in the quantum reality. But quantum is very powerful, very powerful. But there are very, very few people who will talk about it. And I'm talking about the truthers. I'm talking about the truthers. I'm talking about alternative media, the ones that want to bring you the news, bring you what, bring you information, knowledge of what they feel is important to you. And because they have not learned about quantum or quantum grammar or flag law, they're Trump, Trump, go Trump, yeah, Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. You're watching the image of Trump like you watched the image of Biden. They, they, tell me that the military is so stupid that they don't know the difference between the timing between cannon fire for a volley of a 21 gun salute at a funeral versus the timing of the volleys for a inauguration of a fiction fuck president. Huh? So they showed you. The mainstream media showed you, but who told you? One motherfucker. One motherfucker. Derek Johnson told you. He told us. He proved it to us. And Derek Johnson is making a living on fiction fuckery. And yet he he gave us a good education on the fiction fuckery, but he's a deceiver because he will not talk flag law. He will not talk with me, and he will not answer my emails. When old Derek Johnson, he ain't that old. When Derek Johnson came on the scene, he said, I answer all emails myself. He said it may take a little time, but I answer them all myself. Derek Johnson didn't answer my email. His assistant did. It was some kind of bullshit fucking excuse. And this motherfucker, to this day, I've never heard him talk flag law or quantum. And I heard it ported by a so-called truther, patriot, how upset Derek Johnson is about all the misinformation and how those spreading misinformation are going to pay. Yeah, Derek, like you, Derek, misleading the people You think you're exempt from misleading the people? Because you refuse. In fact, Derek Johnson and Russell uh, uh, purportedly were face to face at an event, and there's an interview of Russell, and the interviewer is talking about this event where he's talking to Russell, saying that talking about the event where Russell and Derek were, and how he's saying to himself, the interviewer interviewing Russell is saying to himself, he's telling Russell, he's saying, I'm watching this thing and thinking, Russell's being a dick. And then he's saying, it's starting to sprinkle here. I think I can sit through this. But maybe I'll have to move inside. We'll see what happens. And then he's saying that, but Derek's being a dick. Well, it's an interesting interview. It's available on YouTube. And that told me that Derek knows about Russell. He knows about the flag and flag law. But Derek loves a yellow fringe flag. And he loves his military with their mutilated flag. He loves his military that slaves the American men, deceives the American men to war on the world and war on the American people and protect and stand up for the British agents. The American military has been MIA since at least 1871. At least since 1871. At least from 1871, the American military has been slaving the American men, murdering the Americans, and the people of the world, polluting and destroying and annihilating God's creations. Fuck every one of these treasonous fucking pieces of shit. I'm telling you, it is time for some old school fucking ass whooping. And it ain't gonna happen with all the men on their fucking knees. Oh, but Ethan, I got a toothache. I need to go see the dentist, and my back's hurting, and I need fucking surgery, and my fucking knees are bad. Yeah, you motherfucker. Yeah, I know. I had it all by dealing with my toxic teeth. My toxic teeth alone, I have recovered from 40 fucking chronic conditions. I've recovered from 40 fucking. That's why the ADA members, Dental Clinics North, and all their dentists, Dental Clinics North, Mansalona, Birch Street Dental, old Mulby and his fucking gang, 4 fucking dentists over there, Humana, and the bar are all responsible for poisoning me 24/7, 365 for years. And they're walking around scot free. They're still fucking playing insurance fraud with Humana or whatever insurance company. Dental Clinics North is, Mansalona is not in network with Humana. At least they weren't. But they're all doing the insurance fraud with the all caps name. They're all poisoning you. So I don't need the docs, the dentist, and the oral surgeon. I dox every one of them. You're an ADA member. You're an AMA member. And you continue to poison the American people when you fucking know better? Fuck you! You need an old school fucking ass kicking and justice. That's what you need. Got some jet thunder. I wonder what time it is. It's 7:14. The jet thunder's been going on for a little bit. I don't know when it started. They had a lot of jet thunder all day long. Oh, um, so my videos that I put out about the military comms, all this air traffic around here. Uh, for like 10 years, there was never any air traffic here. Um, virtually no air traffic. Um, but a little over 2 years ago, I gave the American people a land location for a court of law, and I operated as prosecutor. And I called many of these British agents to court. I did it with minimal babble. And I hadn't had time to study the quantum. And Russell says all courts are closed the world over. All courts are closed. What does that mean? Because it doesn't look like the circuit court and the district court over here in Kalkaska are closed. It doesn't look like the circuit courts and district courts and federal courts all across America are closed, does it? Doesn't look like these other countries' courts are closed, does it? Under martial law, that means they're closed. Yet they continue to operate. What is that? That's treason. That's war crimes. War crimes. Sheriff Fat Fuckford and your posse, Kalkaska County Sheriff Fat Fuckford and your posse, Kalkaska Village Police Poopy Pants Popa, County Prosecutor Ziggy, former Prosecutor Perot, Judge Butt Day and all her comrades. War crimes, baby. War crimes. It's the same in your neighborhood, people. That's the beauty of quantum grammar. That is the beauty of quantum grammar, of now time, now space jurisdiction. So, Russell claims to have entered into contract with the Navy in 2003. He states the former United States corporation had its third and final bankruptcy in 1999. He claims he conducted the largest court martial in history. But who who brings him forward? Who tells his story? There ain't many. And those that do, don't repeat it. As far as I know, I'm the only one that talks about it time and again, time and time again. And when I was holding court using postal mechanics in a judicial process as the executive emergency manager in a wartime theater, I really didn't know about Russell. I didn't know flag law. I didn't know about quantum grammar. And so I was using my Babylonian experience. I've had a lot of experience with these British agents. I've had too much experience with the courts, the British courts, the administrative courts, the slave courts. And so I had knowledge of that fiction realm, and I used it. Got some good jet thunder going. It's faint, but it's strong. It's a strong jet. And so what was I doing? I was babbling, wasn't I? Well, one of my babbles was to Garrison Command at Camp Grayling. Garrison Command at Camp Grayling, the largest National Guard base in America. I gave them all my Babylonian evidence. Cases, all my, the cases I had at the time, the cases that I had conducted. Now, from a perspective of martial law, as I reflect, right, as I reflect back, and reflecting back with the knowledge of martial law, what goes on in here? A lot, a lot. One of it is Russell, as a Postmaster General of the world, as the Commander in Chief of the American military, martial law can be lawfully declared, can be lawfully act in action. Uh, can be lawfully. I'm trying to minimize some Babylonian words and try and come up with some try and throw a little quantum in here where I can, because I'm doing my best to be out of the babble and see the world move into the quantum. From that position, courts are closed because they're all these courts around the world are bar courts, British courts, courts of the enemy. Now, even if they were lawful courts, even if they were lawful courts in martial law, they have no authority, no jurisdiction, no standing. They have to stand down because it's martial law. That means military law. So all of those courts are just that, right? Well, what did I do? I used postal mechanics and the judicial process and Babel for for justice. I stood up. I acted. I performed. I brought the facts forward so that the criminal, unlawful activities can be front and center. And those responsible, their volition could be um, ascertained. Now, that was 20, I think it was 2021. It might have been 2020. I'm thinking it was 2020. It might have been 21. When I put those 3 garrison commanders in my court using postal mechanics and the judicial process, and I had no knowledge of martial law, um, of a martial law position, of an existing martial law position. I had no knowledge of that. And neither did the vast majority of yous. Neither did the vast majority of yous. You had no clue. Did that make me wrong? Did that make me a criminal? Interesting, isn't it? Well, I entered into that um, performance as a soldier, executive emergency manager for the Michigan territory. I used to say for Michigan State, but you see, Michigan doesn't have standing for statehood from what I can ascertain from my critical thinking. And I don't know that there is a state in America that has the position of statehood. And any state created, formed, organized, declared um, after 1871 certainly has no standing as a state. So I think what we have is an American territory. And maybe territories in the Americas, like a Michigan territory. And so a little over 2 years ago, from the position of a soldier, executive emergency manager in a war theater, I I performed, and it's on YouTube. And I think it was 2 days before court. Right over here. I'll turn the camera around for a minute. Okay. Right over here. Right over those trees. That's to the west. Just over the tops of those trees come 3 helicopters. 2 of them Black Hawks with their big old cannons, and then a smaller military bird. And they came in, they kind of swooped around, and uh, I, 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 I was like this. I was like, yeah, yeah, cheering, waving at them. Well, I invited all of America to be here for court. Um, 2 men from Pennsylvania were here, and they were helping me take care of some things, and they were here for the court. And the day before court, they they went down to the court to clear the weeds because the weeds were 3, 4 foot and taller. And so people are going to show up. Well, we wanted to have the weeds knocked down, right? So they're here a very short time, and they're at the court a very short time. Well, they're at the court. 2 Black Hawk helicopters come in at treetop level and buzz them. That was the first obvious signs of the military communicating with me. However, it had been going on in the previous months, and it was not so obvious. There was something odd going on with the sky events and the birds making the sky events. And I came to the conclusion after a lot of study that it was Coast Guard, primarily Coast Guard. And I still have that position. Um, Maybe one day those who know will tell me. I would like to meet every pilot that has been ordered to drop a comm over here. One day I would like to meet every pilot, because they're compartmentalized. They're following orders. They probably have no idea what the fuck, why they're fucking over here. uh, yeah. So, well then, within a day or two of court, um, a couple things happened. Um, the day of court, just after midnight, there was an assassin team here, and they were here for me, and they were surprised. And the hunters became the hunted, and that's all on YouTube. I don't have to go into detail on that. And about all I had here for lighting in the middle of 40 acres, with the trees all tight around me, was a little one bulb porch light. And I got serious with the lighting immediately, and dealing with the terrain, creating a lot of fuckery and visibility, visibility and fuckery and visibility and lighting. And so within maybe 2 days of the assassination attempt, here come two Black Hawk helicopters at night, and they're giving me a lot of notice that they're coming. I hear them coming, and I grabbed the phone and I got the camera out and I recorded it, and it's on YouTube. And they got their spotlight shining straight down as they fly over my head, over my porch, and over my roof right here. That was a comm. That was a comm. And I felt it then, and I have felt it all along. That comm said, good job, bro. Good job. Um, we got our eye on you now. We got your back. So any chatter that could be picked up, any communications, any kind of chatter that could be picked up that is a threat against me, I feel I have had the protection of the military all this time. And so within a week of court, we've had the military here 3 times, obvious military, Black Hawk helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters. And then I'm sitting in there in my easy chair, and all of a sudden my trailer's shaking, rocking. And I come over here to the door and I look up, and what do I see? I see a 6-engine bird. Huge, huge bird. And started asking, and figured out that was a Soviet era bird. Not Russian, Soviet era bird. The Soviet era bird doing buzzing my rooftop. Same time, all these Black Hawk helicopters have been here multiple times. Well, again, Derek Johnson, he's one of the ones who proved to us all these military aircrafts from all over the world being in places where there's no reason they should be there. So that again was a confirmation to me as a military comm that Ethan, this is bigger. This is bigger than you know. That's why they sent one of the biggest fucking birds to buzz my rooftop. And a Soviet era bird. This thing is so big. You park a 747 next to it, it looks like a Cessna. And from that time forward, the air traffic here has been different every day. And I have, the better part of 800 videos showing these comms. And for you folks, they're all yawners, you know. Yeah, big deal. Yeah, well, do you live near an airport? No. Yes. No. Yes, no. Do I live near an airport that gives air traffic here? Fuck no. No. Think about how that has to happen. Somebody's got to make a decision. Somebody's got to give a command. Somebody has to operate, and and so that's the reality of it. Now, about 2 years ago, probably over 2 years ago now. No, wrong. A year ago, a little over a year ago, I went down to the court where I recorded my authorizations to Michigan Military Command. That's available on YouTube. And I used my quantum grammar skills at that time for the words, the written words of the title. I think I got it right. But I gave my best. I gave my best. The next day, I'm standing out there. I got no phone. And I get an air show. 4 fighter jets come in low and fast, screaming. It's called a Fingers 4. It has different meanings, but the meaning that I got was praise from above and the power behind that praise. That was the communication to me. But I could only port on it. I created a helicopter landing zone here last year for the military. And I went up on the roof, set the tripod up, set a chair up, sat down, and gave authorization to Michigan Military Command to use the helicopter landing zone. I ended the stream, folded up the tripod. I'm climbing down the ladder, and here comes one fighter jet, low, screaming. There was no way I could get down off the ladder, turn the phone on, get the camera open, and capture it. It was that fast. So I could only port on it. I could only report on it. I could only port on it. I had no evidence for you. However, this year, I was expanding the helicopter landing zone, and I'm working on it daily for months. All of a sudden, I'm getting another air show, but this one was different. This one was three jets, and that is called a Vic, and it's a precursor to the Fingers 4. So they went old school on me. They went old school on the old man. The old man who's telling all of you it's time for some old school ass whooping. So the military went old school on me with a Vic. Dropping trails, right? Dropping jet trails. And I got the camera rolling this time. And they go overhead, and they came in from the west and went over my head and over to the east. And when they were out of view, you could no longer see the birds. It didn't take long, and all the jet trails have vanished from the sky, except over my head. Three short trails side by side, directly over my head. But those birds were not flying side by side. They had the lead, and then the second one, and then further back on the other side, the third one. So think of the precision timing to make whatever change they make in that jet trail for dissipating quickly or lingering, because they left three short ones lingering directly over my head, side by side. Now on Rumble, I don't know that video has 20 views today to date. On YouTube, I don't know. I'd be surprised if it had 10 views to date. Why? That video should go viral. But you see, none of the truthers, none of the patriot podcasters, none of the QAnons want to bring me forward. Why? Because I am one of the most feared men on this planet. I'm one of the most feared men on this planet. And isn't that asinine? Why do they fear me? They fear me because of truth. They fear me because of truth. And the truth is, if you stand with me, if you support me, there's a good chance that you will be attacked and your life will be destroyed or ended. And now we're on the other side. None of these motherfuckers want me in that gold fringe flag courtroom, federal, state, county, or otherwise, because in discovery, I will expose their crimes in their system, which they are tripping over. They're tripping over their own crimes. They can't book burn. They can't delete. They can't evaporate enough to protect them from discovery, from the facts, from the truth, from the knowledge that will expose their volition as British agents warring on me and warring on the people in the community. That for years, I have been bringing the truth forward. I've been bringing the truth of oral health with cannabis forward for years. I have been unable to get an evaluation. Not one evaluation. The people would rather suffer with calcified plaques, bleeding gums, bad breath, and rotten teeth, and all the um, poor health that can come from it. I recovered from 40 chronic conditions. 40 chronic conditions that people that live with those conditions go to the British agents for relief. They go to the British agents for relief. Your AMA doctors, your ADA doctors. Now, you've got homeopaths, you got natural healers. They got no spine. They have no fucking spine. They do not have the moral fortitude to stiffen up their spine enough to stand. So they're guilty too. They are fucking guilty as well. You cannot live in a just world if you do not have strong men, moral men, righteous men who will do the right thing when it needs to be done. And this is why we're in the situation that we're in today. Mosquitoes are starting to come out now. Probably a good time for me to think about wrapping this up. I'm sitting here barefoot, short pants, short shirt, and I'll be swatting at these mosquitoes. And I think I'll take a look at the chat. See who's got the balls to comment. Nobody. Or maybe nobody's here. It says there's 2 people here. I'm not one of them. Let me see. If I click on this, will it say 3 people here? It says there. Get the volume turned down. Yeah, it changed from 2 to 3 when I joined. So 2 very brave, very brave people here. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. Um, oh, that's one thing I wanted to say. Um, take a look here at my last live. My last live video. 200 views. The dentist, the oral surgeon, and the ADA has 200 views on Rumble. I got 153 followers on Rumble. It's got 200 views. That's the first time I think that I've ever had a video get more views than I have followers. Maybe in the beginning days of YouTube when I had no followers, or I got my first couple of followers, the videos probably had more views than I had subscribers on YouTube. Got a prop plane coming. 7:52. 7:52 is the time. Uh, that's a 14. I don't know what a 14 means. But sometimes these prop planes come around to alert me to a coming sky event. A lot of times these prop planes show up to be the sky event. Um, most of my videos for the military comms don't get 30 views, 40 views. But my last live got 200. But over on YouTube, we'll take a look at YouTube, see how YouTube stands. YouTube's a different story. YouTube has 13 views, but 4 thumbs up. A couple of brave sons of bitches over on YouTube. But I don't know there was anybody brave enough to give me a thumbs up over here on Rumble. But that's the way it is. When you are one of the most feared men on the planet, and you know that the majority of the American population is brainwashed, fear-based, morally bankrupt, and confused. What do you expect? So how many of you have a doctor's appointment? Or how many of you feel like you need a doctor's appointment? How many of you have a dentist appointment scheduled or feel like you need to schedule a dentist appointment? You want to be poisoned. No, you don't. But if you know what I know and you're making those appointments, you're going to get poisoned. You're going to get toxified. You're going to get fucked. Slave traded. It's disgusting. It's time for some old school ass whooping. It's time for truth. It's time for justice. It's time to be healthy. It's time to be prosperous. It's time to be brave. So I hope you will be. I hope you will be. I wonder what the hell would happen if the dentist received emails and phone calls. Emails, phone calls, mail. I wonder if the dentist would wake up. I don't know. I have no idea his financial position, but he's a guy that has done well, uh, should have done well for the profession he's in. Um, he's he's done well enough to have a nice boat. Now, I was forced to become a minimalist. I was forced to live in poverty, yet I still find a way to maintain my website that's been hijacked. I still find a way to maintain it. I still find a way to survive. I wear rags. I sleep in rags. I had my shoes taped onto my feet for the last 2 years. And I have recovered from 40 chronic conditions. You know, these dentists go to dentists. These doctors go to doctors. The dentists go to doctors. The doctors go to dentists. That's how fucking stupid they are. Dumber than a fucking box of rocks or gluttons of punishment. Maybe they justify the way they poison us by letting their own poison them with the delusion that it's health care. All right, everybody, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I love you. I'll be back. I'll be back.